Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into something that's probably, crossed every South African business owner's mind. What's my business actually worth?
It's the big question, isn't it?
It really is.
And to help us unpack it all, we're tacking into the know-how of VentureLink business brokers. They live and breathe this stuff, valuing businesses day in and day out.
Okay, so gotta be honest. The whole valuation thing used to feel, I don't know, a bit like climbing Table Mountain. Kind of daunting and maybe even a bit unnecessary if I'm not, selling right this second.
Right, right. I hear that. Many small business owners think valuation, that's for when I'm ready to retire on the beach somewhere. But here's the thing, even if selling feels a million miles away, knowing what your business is worth, it's like having the secret weapon.
Ooh, secret weapon. I like that.
Right. It can really impact so many other decisions you're making every single day about your business.
So it's not just about that final price tag, like when I'm handing over the keys, so to speak.
No, no, not at all. Think of it this way. Would you build a house without, knowing the cost of materials or what the land is worth? Or even if you could get a loan? Probably not. Your business, it deserves that same level of, financial clarity.
You've got a point. It's
If
like you need a solid foundation. But let's be honest, valuing a business, it can feel like this big, mysterious equation. What actually goes into it? Is it just about, how much profit I made last year?
That's a good question. Profit is definitely part of the picture, but it's not the whole story, right? VentureLink, they use a few different methods to kind of paint that complete picture of your business's worth. One they call the market analysis multiple. Basically, they look at what similar businesses, in your industry and here in South Africa, what they've recently sold for.
So kind of like when you're house hunting, you might check out what similar properties in your neighborhood are going for to get a feel for the market.
Exactly. Gives you that benchmark. Another method is called asset-based valuation. This one is all about taking stock, literally, adding up the value of everything your business owns. And we're talking equipment, inventory, even those comfy chairs in your waiting room.
So it's like taking inventory, but for my entire business.
Yes, all the stuff you can actually touch and see.
The tangible stuff.
Precisely. Now, the key is you have to choose the right valuation method, right? It's got to be the right one for your business and your goals. And that's where VentureLink's expertise really comes in. They're like those expert tour guides up Table Mountain. They know all the best routes. They'll help you navigate the process, find that approach that makes the most sense for you.
Finding that perfect fit, not a one-size-fits-all. But let's face it, selling a business, it's not just about numbers on a spreadsheet, is it?
You're absolutely right. You've poured your heart and soul into building this business. VentureLink, they understand that. They're big on what they call their boutique approach. Really personalized attention, support every step of the way. They're not just number crunchers. They're like your partners, in figuring out what's best for you and your business.
Okay, now I like that it's like having a business therapist and a financial strategist all rolled into one.
Aha, exactly.
But hold on, let's rewind for a sec. We've been talking a lot about selling. But VentureLink argues that even if you're not planning to sell anytime soon, just understanding your business's value, well, that's like striking gold.
100%. This is where it gets really, really interesting, I think, for every business owner. Because whether you're thinking of selling tomorrow or 10 years from now, having that clear picture of what your business is worth, it's like a superpower when it comes to making decisions.
Okay, so give me some concrete examples here. How does knowing my business's value translate into making better decisions day to day?
Okay, let's say you're thinking about expanding. Maybe opening a second location or launching that new product line you've been dreaming of. A valuation can tell you, are you financially ready for that? It's like, checking your bank balance before you make a big purchase and on a much bigger scale, and it gives you that confidence to make bold moves.
So it's not just about dreaming big, it's about knowing if you've got the foundation to back it up.
Exactly. And a strong valuation, it's like a magnet for investors. Investors, they want to put their money into businesses with a proven track record, businesses with a future. A solid valuation, it's proof. It gives them that confidence.
Like that little something extra on your business plan, right? The thing that makes you stand out when you're looking for funding.
Exactly. And of course, let's not forget that exit strategy. Whether you're dreaming of, handing over the reins to your children or finally taking that well-deserved holiday, a valuation is key.
It's like having that financial safety net, knowing what all your hard work is actually worth.
I like the safety net for your future. And, sometimes just going through the valuation process itself, it can be so insightful. It can help you spot like potential risks or those blind spots that you might not even have been aware of.
So it's like giving your business a financial health check, right? You can identify and address any of those vulnerabilities before they become major headaches.
Precisely. It's about gaining that strategic insight and using it to make sure your business thrives in the long run.
Now, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds fantastic, but are there any downsides? Is it too good to be true? What are those doubts?
Well, we hear those all the time. One of the biggest misconceptions is that valuations, they're only for big corporations, the ones with deep pockets.
Especially here in South Africa, every rand counts.
Absolutely. But VentureLink's point is that often the cost of getting a valuation, it's far outweighed by the benefits it unlocks. It's an investment, not just an expense.
So it's like investing in a good financial advisor. It might seem like a significant cost up front, but those long-term gains, that clarity, strategy, peace of mind, they make it worthwhile.
Exactly. Another myth that valuations are only for businesses that are about to be sold. Well, we already established that's not true. VentureLink works with businesses at all stages, from startups to, companies that have been around for ages, because it's about having that financial insight.
Knowledge is power, right? Whether you're just starting out or you've been in business for decades.
Absolutely. It's about being empowered,
Yeah.
making informed decisions about your business's future. And this brings me to another misconception, that all valuations are created equal. Like there's just this standard formula and they plug your numbers in.
But every business is unique, just like each of us has our own fingerprint.
Exactly. And that's why VentureLink, they really emphasize a personalized approach, tailoring those methods to your specific industry, your business model, your goals.
So it's about finding that valuation method that fits your business perfectly.
Yes, not just a one-size-fits-all. Now, another concern we hear a lot, that the whole valuation process, it's going to be so disruptive and time-consuming.
Like having a film crew taking over the office. Everyone's tiptoeing around, rearranging furniture.
Yep.
Chaos.
That's a great analogy, but honestly, a good valuation should be efficient, it should be streamlined, and it should have minimal impact on, your day-to-day.
So a quick checkup, not major surgery.
Exactly.
That's a relief. But let's say someone listening is convinced they see the value in this and they want to get a valuation. What should they even be looking for when they're choosing a provider? Because let's be honest, it can feel a bit overwhelming. There are so many options out there.
Absolutely. You have to choose wisely. VentureLink, they highlight a few key factors to consider. First and foremost, experience and expertise. You want a firm with a proven track record, and specifically in your industry, not just someone who dabbles in valuations on the side.
Like finding a specialist, right? If you've got a specific medical condition, you want someone who really knows their stuff.
Exactly. You want someone who understands your market. The next thing to consider is their approach. Do they use just one method, or do they take a more comprehensive, a multi-method approach to valuation?
Because we talked about a few different methods earlier, it seems like using a combination of those methods would give a more complete picture.
You're exactly right. VentureLink uses a blend. So we're talking market analysis, asset-based valuation, potentially others depending on your business, and that's how they get the most accurate picture of what your business is worth.
Looking at the full picture, not just focusing on one narrow aspect.
Precisely. And finally, transparency. You want a provider who's upfront about their process. They explain everything in plain English, and they make sure you understand how they arrived at that final valuation.
You don't want them just pulling numbers out of thin air. It's about understanding the why behind the what, right?
100%. VentureLink's whole thing is empowering business owners with knowledge. So you're not just handed a report, you actually understand what it means. Now, they're really big on staying ahead of the curve. They're always looking ahead at the future of business valuations.
Ooh, a glimpse into the future. What trends are on the horizon?
Well, one that's making waves right now is integrating technology into the process. Things like artificial intelligence, big data.
Wow, now that sounds really high-tech. So what's the benefit of bringing AI into this?
Well, it can make the whole process faster, more efficient, potentially more accurate even, because it's crunching massive amounts of data that humans might miss.
Okay, so like having a superpowered calculator for your business. What other trends are they seeing?
Well, this one's particularly interesting. They're seeing this increased focus on ESG factors.
ESG, remind me again what that stands for.
ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance. And it's all about how companies are incorporating sustainability, social responsibility, those ethical practices into their business models.
So it's not just about profits anymore. It's about making a positive impact.
Precisely. And investors are really taking note. Companies with strong ESG ratings, they're becoming a lot more attractive. And that translates into higher valuations.
So if a business is ahead of the curve on ESG, it could actually make them more valuable. That's incredible.
It's true. Any other trends? Let's see. Oh, one more that's very relevant these days, the rise of remote valuation.
Right, because who has time for in-person meetings anymore?
Exactly. With so many people working remotely, more and more valuation providers, they're offering virtual services. So much easier, more convenient. Get the information you need from anywhere in the world.
That's so convenient, especially for, busy entrepreneurs.
Right.
Always on the go.
Exactly. And the final trend, the move towards more, shall we say, personalized valuation reports.
So not just a generic report with a bunch of numbers, it's tailored to your needs.
Exactly. Deeper insights, tailored recommendations helps you understand what the valuation actually means for you specifically.
It's like getting a roadmap for your business's future based on its real worth.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of business valuations, really. They're not just about putting a price tag on your hard work. They're about getting that strategic insight, making smart decisions, and creating a roadmap for success, whatever that looks like for you.
I am so glad we had this conversation. Honestly, I used to think valuations were this big, scary, complicated thing, but now I see it's really about empowering business owners, helping them take control of their future.
It really is about that, taking control, knowing your options.
Now, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, you mentioned VentureLink is based right here in South Africa. Does that matter? I mean, how does that local expertise play into the valuations they provide?
Oh, that's such a good point. Because what works for, say, a tech startup in Silicon Valley might not work for a family-owned restaurant here in Cape Town.
Right. Different markets, different challenges, for sure.
Exactly. VentureLink, they get that. They really understand the South African business landscape. Those unique economic conditions, the industry trends, even the legal stuff, the regulations.
So it's more than just the numbers, it's understanding the whole context.
Exactly. That local knowledge, that insight, it all goes into every valuation they do. So you're getting advice, guidance that's specifically relevant to your business right here, right now.
It's like a home field advantage.
Yeah.
But for valuations.
I like that. A home field advantage. Okay, now I always like to leave our listeners with, something to think about, a little thought-provoking nugget. And this one comes straight from VentureLink. They're seeing a real surge in demand for valuations, and this is interesting, valuations related to employee share schemes.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more.
So it seems more and more South African businesses, they're realizing that it's powerful to share ownership with their employees.
Yeah, it's a win-win, right? Employees feel more invested in the company, and then
Yeah.
the business benefits because you got a more engaged team.
Exactly. But here's where valuations come in. When you're offering shares to employees, you got to make sure those shares are valued fairly, fair for the business and fair for the employee.
So you can't just hand out shares all willy-nilly. There's got to be a strategy. It has to be fair.
Right. And a professional valuation, that's where it's invaluable. Make sure the process is transparent, it's equitable, everyone benefits.
I love that. That's a really positive trend. Empowering employees, creating a more, equitable business environment.
Absolutely. It reminds us that valuations, they're not just about slapping a price tag on things. They're about, making smart decisions, planning for the future, and creating those opportunities for growth for everyone to succeed.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling incredibly inspired. A big thank you to VentureLink Business Brokers for, taking the time to share their expertise with us today. And for anyone listening, if you want to learn more, we'll be sure to include links to VentureLink's website and all their resources in our show notes.
And remember, understanding what your business is worth, it's not just about selling. It's about, reaching your full potential, creating that brighter future for your business and for yourself.
Words to live by. This has been a really, really insightful deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those entrepreneurial spirits soaring. It really hit home for me, this idea that evaluation, it's not just this number, it's like a launch pad. Like you're understanding what you've built and then using that to make it even better.
Right. It's moving from, I think my business is doing okay, to, I know it's valuable, and here's how I can make it even more valuable.
Exactly. And speaking of valuable, VentureLink mentioned how technology and even ESG factors, they're becoming more and more important in valuations these days. What's that all about?
It's interesting. Businesses are really trying to understand how things like, automation, data, how those things impact their value, and sustainability too.
So it's not just about, like, the physical stuff anymore. It's about how you're innovating, right?
Yeah.
Adapting to, like, this constantly changing world.
Exactly. Investors are looking beyond just the profits now. They're looking for businesses that are, future-proof, making those responsible choices for their employees, for the environment, for the community.
So it's like good business is good business on all levels.
Yes.
If you're treating your employees right, if you're environmentally conscious, it's not just like good karma. It can actually make your business worth more.
Yes, absolutely. Your business's value, it's more than just, the financial bottom line. It's about the impact you're making.
This has been so eye-opening. We've gone from like Valuation 101 to like advanced business strategy all in one deep dive.
Uh-huh. I love it. And remember, you don't have to be a financial guru to figure this stuff out. VentureLink and other valuation experts, they're here to help.
Exactly. So to all those South African business owners out there, if you're even a little bit curious about what your business is worth, take the leap.
You won't regret it. Knowledge is power, right? And understanding your business's value, that's one of the most powerful things you can do.
Couldn't agree more. Huge thank you to VentureLink Business Brokers for, well, for everything. Listeners, be sure to check out our show notes. We'll have links to VentureLink there and all the great resources they offer.
And remember, understanding your business's worth, it's not just about selling up. It's about unlocking that potential, creating a future for yourself, for your business.
Absolutely. We'll see you on the next deep dive.